Under the neon glow of New York City, Eleanor Carter, the heiress of Carter Enterprises, strolled through the chilly streets after a frustrating board meeting. Despite her wealth, she longed for something real, something beyond gold-digging suitors and corporate obligations. As she passed a small alley, she noticed a man sitting on a tattered blanket. His dark hair was messy, his beard unkempt, and his clothes were worn out, but his eyes, piercing blue, held an undeniable fire. He was sketching on a notepad, lost in his world. Curious, Eleanor stepped closer. "You're quite talented," she commented, peering over his shoulder. The man looked up, startled. "Thanks, but talent doesn't buy dinner." His voice was deep, confident, and oddly cultured for someone living on the streets. Eleanor smiled. "What's your name?" "Jake," he replied, studying her. "And you?" She hesitated. Most people recognized her name. "Ellie," she said, offering a hand. He shook it, and for the first time in a long while, she felt something genuine. Over the next few days, Eleanor found herself returning to that alley, bringing food and conversation. Jake was different, intelligent, witty, and not the least bit intimidated by her wealth. One evening, she asked, "How did you end up here?" He shrugged. "Let's just say I'm learning about the world from a different perspective." It was a vague answer, but she didn't press. She liked the mystery. Unbeknownst to her, Jake wasn't just any homeless man. He was Jacob Reynolds, the elusive CEO of Reynolds Tech, a multi-billion-dollar corporation. He had stepped away from his lavish life to understand how the other half lived, something he believed would make him a better leader. As the weeks passed, Eleanor and Jake grew close. She admired his resilience, his humor, and the way he saw life beyond material things. One rainy evening, she found him shivering. Without a second thought, she took him to her penthouse. "You don't have to do this," Jake protested. "I want to," she insisted. As she handed him fresh clothes and warm soup, he realized he was falling for her. But how could he tell her the truth? Would she still care if she knew he was richer than she could imagine? One day, Eleanor's world came crashing down when she saw Jake on a Forbes magazine cover, clean-shaven, in a sharp suit, titled The Mysterious Billionaire, Jacob Reynolds. Her heart pounded. He had lied. That evening, when Jake came to see her, she was waiting with the magazine in hand. "Who are you really?" she asked, voice shaking. Jake sighed. "Ellie, I never meant to deceive you. I wanted to find someone who saw me, not my wealth." Tears welled in her eyes. "So everything was a test?" "No," he stepped closer. "I fell in love with you for real." After a tense silence, Eleanor realized something. She had fallen for the man, not his money. She smiled through her tears. "Then prove it. Let's start over." And so they did, this time with no secrets.